Hello, everybody. Steve Lentini. How are you this fine Monday morning? So I am the author of Sales Success for the Rookie. You can go on Amazon, Google Sales Success for the Rookie, or Google Steve Lentini. I'm also a contributing author for Imagine 30 Days to a New You. It's an international bestseller. And Sales Success for the Rookie is doing quite well, and I want to thank everybody that's purchased a copy or intends to. It's great. Thank you very much. Thank you all for attending today and every week. This is the best getting better. And so here's where I talk about my sales philosophy and how important it is today to help people buy and to educate yourself about what is it that your company does very well. So today I'm going to talk about how to help you develop your future clients. So when you have meetings with people, even if it's to develop more business in existing clients, they have to feel like you can help them. So first and foremost, if it's a future client and you don't have that kind of relationship like you do with an existing client, they've done business with you, they know how you resolve disputes and problems, and they know if you've developed trust with them, it's because they know you have their best interest at heart. They can trust you. Now, there are people out there that do things that are out of integrity, that have their kickbacks and payoffs and all kinds of things that have nothing to do with doing business. And if their bosses ever caught them, if the people got caught, listen, if they own the company, it's not a kickback. They're just taking a piece of what they're charged. They're stealing from their own company because the people are charging them more. If you're getting a kickback, the people are charging you more for stuff. Okay, so we all know that. That's not new. And so that's out of integrity. And so over time, those people end up suffering, and they work harder, and they don't sleep as well at night. And it's best to do the right thing in the business world, because when you're doing the right thing comes back to you. That's how it works, right? Cause and effect. I didn't design the world this way. It's cause and effect. Like I have a boomerang here on my wall to remind me when I put out, I get back. This will come back. It's a boomerang. It says boomerang right on it. See it? Boomerang. I think it's backwards, but anyway, boomerang. What you put out comes back. I don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. Eventually, everybody gets what they put out. So we're always harvesting something we planted. So today, we're going to talk about developing pain, and that's what you need to do to help your future prospects buy. So developing pain means first you have to understand who are you best at helping? Who's your company really good at? What are the sweet spots of your company? You don't need to offer kickbacks if your company's really good. And there's evidence of it. You know, I've worked with companies that were doing 6, 8, 10 million in sales, and they were in a market segment of people doing 100 million, 150 million, 200 million, and multiple competitors doing those kind of sales. So did it make sense? They had plenty of room to grow. They didn't have to pay people off or give kickbacks. You can have integrity and sell what you need to sell and find people that'll buy it. But again, see, if you have commission breath, it means you show up wanting to make a sale rather than wanting to help. And it's two different energies. And what you put out as an energy, people can sense it. They can sense it. So I've been with people who talk a lot. And when they talk a lot, it's because they're trying to convince somebody of something. And I never feel comfortable with people who talk a lot, because don't try to convince me of everything. Help me understand why I need you. And that's what's happening today. For you to learn, so what I teach people is you help people understand how you'll help them and how you'll help them with their responsibilities, their challenges, their bottom line, their profits, more productive, save time, all of those things. Can you do that? Can you do that? Does your company do that? So if you're a new sales rep, if you're a rookie, Sales Success for the Rookie is one of my books. I also have Sales Success for the Seasoned Veteran on my website, How to Stay at Peak Performance. So for whether a veteran or a rookie, if you're not spending time understanding how does your company help your future prospects either save money, become more productive, save time, become more profitable. All of those are related, by the way, in case you didn't know. Maybe they help them manage inventory levels better. Or if they're, I consult clients that sell medical devices and sell genome mapping software. They're doing it's research universities and drug companies, things like that that they sell. So there, how do you help them become more productive around their research, right? And how can you show them a difference in how you gather the information and how you store it, and then the way you chart it and map it? And does the mapping help them figure out something new perhaps in their research? But first you have to understand how does your company help your future prospects? So number one, find out. Go to your top reps, go to your boss, go to the marketing department. Hey, how have we best helped people? Share with me some of our successes. So you find out what the successes are. Find out the specifics of the successes, because you're going to be in future clients that are going to need some of what those future successes. They're going to need that performance. So by you understanding it, as you're asking pain questions, which we'll talk about in a minute, as you develop the right pain questions, people will share that they have a problem that in fact you've helped people with. And then you can help them understand how you've helped them. So who did you help? Understand the kind of companies that you helped. Why is that important? If you understand the kinds of companies that you're helping in your company now, then you can map out targets that match those companies, right? You match out targets that match those companies, and you can go call on them. Who better? You've already helped those people. Like for me, I need to find more medical device companies, more software companies, because I've helped them, more distribution companies, more service companies. I'm helping a distribution company in New Jersey. I'm helping a service company in New Hampshire. I'm helping medical device company. I'm helping software company. So right away, that's where I go to focus my efforts, because I've helped those kind of companies make more sales. Okay, so now who did you help? What did they do? What did you specifically do? How did your company help? And then you map out what were the wins and what was unique about those wins. How did it happen? You might have to go to your salespeople and ask them the story too. Hey, how did this all come about? Understand the story. Then you develop a third-party story. So here's a third-party story. So first you gather all the information so you understand how the win came about and how you can best help people. Then you gather third-party stories from those clients and those salespeople. You can ask them, can I go to your client? Or did your client write a letter? Did you ask them to? Can we make a conference call? Can we call them so I can understand, hey, thank you for the recent sale. What was it about our sale and that sale that helped you select us? What was it that you liked about the process that we go through? Or what was it that you liked about our product? And also, Mr. Customer, you've had our product for 3 years now. What is it that you've noticed about our product? By the way, those are great phone calls, because you could call somebody like that and they'd say, well, I'm glad you called. We've got a little challenge. Oh, okay. How do we help you with the challenge? And if not, of course, they're going to be glad to give you, oh, here's the successes, right? If you have the relationship with the customer, they'll be glad to give you those successes. Now, so you have the third-party stories in the variety of wins. It's got to be a variety, because if you go in with one third-party story and it doesn't apply to this particular future prospect, future client, then what good did the information do you? You have to keep finding. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. You have to keep searching. No, I'm sorry, I don't have that third-party story. We have to move on. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So you get a number. Your company has multiple wins. You get a number of multiple wins, and then you have those to share with people. Now you develop pain questions. So you go into a future client and you tell them what your process is, by the way. In order for us to figure out if we're a fit for you, I'm going to need to ask you a lot of questions. Is it okay? If it seems like a lot of questions at some point, just say, hey, Steve, it seems like a lot of questions. Can we slow down a little bit? Just so that you give them the opening to slow you down, or if you get too focused on asking a lot of questions, then you're not allowing a two-way dialogue. Now, the future client should be speaking 70 to 75, even 80% of the time, especially if it's a first or second meeting. that there becomes more of an exchange of dialogue as you get to know the future client better and as you develop the sales process, depending on how long your sales cycle is. Okay, so now you have pain questions. So when it comes to the medical device we're talking about, what are you looking for? What have been your challenges? The last time you made a change like this, what was good? What didn't work? What would you like to avoid this time? What have you looked at so far? What about your existing provider? Right? Everybody has an existing provider unless they're brand new. What about your existing provider? What do you like about them? What would you improve? Can I ask you a question? Change is difficult, right? So if it's the white elephant in the room, you bring it up. Whatever you fear, you find a way to say it. So if you fear that they're not going to change because it's a monumental task, so let's suppose they're changing software or even changing suppliers. I've talked to people that sell commodity goods. I've talked to people that sell medical supplies. And again, making a change from one supplier to another, especially in a big hospital, for example, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. They have to change all the descriptions in their computer system. They have to let the warehousing people know, the storeroom people know. They have to let each of the using departments know. It's a lot of work. What if it's a medical device? Imagine all the people that have to approve a change. So you want to understand, what is change like? The last time you changed, what was it like? Give them time. Silence, right? Silence is golden. What'd you think? I forgot what I was going to say? No. So what was the change like? Then you listen. If it was uncomfortable, then why would you change again? I mean, I'd love for you to change to us, but what's going to motivate you to change again? What's going on? And then listen, right? And they should have strong emotion about it. Strong emotion about it. Oh, we're going to change because here is why. Now you would take notes right there. Here's why we're going to change. If they have strong emotion, they're going to change. If they don't, they're not going to change. Or maybe they really need to understand your process and your company before they would even consider making a change. That tells you it's going to be a long sales cycle, but the door is open. So what you want in any sales situation is a yes, a no, a clear future, or a lesson, right? A yes, a no, a clear future, or a lesson. So if they say, well, we're going to change, I mean, kind of, we are worried about that. Kind of means the door is open, but so then you'd say, well, when you say kind of, it sounds to me like you're really leaning toward not changing. Again, whatever you're feeling, you find a way to say it because you need to continue to clear the air. It's like an adult conversation. That's your goal. If you're selling something, trying to manipulate people, you're trying to avoid those difficult conversations, you never avoid them. They come up anyway. I mean, just think about it. Think about all the times you thought you were going to get away with something in a relationship that by just avoiding it. It doesn't work. Eventually, it has to get dealt with. It has to get dealt with. Okay, so now you developed your pain questions. You could use past, present, and future. So when you think of the past, the last time you made changes, the last time you brought in a new supplier, the last time you were contemplating something similar to this. When you think of the present, today, when you think of today, what's happening? What is it costing you? What if you didn't change? What about the future? How would you like the future to look? What are you looking for in a supplier? Who's going to get awarded this? Those are all the pain questions, right? Because you want to really understand, are they going to change? Are they committed? And if you sense any wishy-washy words, well, you're looking good, it's close. Okay, so tell me what looking good means. A lot of times I hear looking good, and in the past we haven't gotten some of those. They've stayed with their existing supplier. You say what you're feeling. Don't use my questions right now, by the way, because each situation is different. Each situation is different. That's good coffee. So then the other thing is to continually manage what you can control, which is your behavior. No matter what somebody says, don't let it bother you. Give them their space. Let them have it. Even say you understand it. I've had people say to me, Steve, we couldn't buy from you. We just want to tell you that up front. And I've said, oh, okay. Help me understand why I'm here. I'm kind of curious. And then they would tell me, yeah, we heard about you guys. We want to find out about you. Okay, great. What did you want to find out? What did you hear? Give me the bad first. Some of that's true. Listen, no one's perfect. If you try to tell people you're perfect, they're not going to believe you. I wouldn't trust you. What about the good? Some of it's true. Same thing applies. Some of it's true. Not all of it would be true. All right, then now tell me, why is it that you couldn't buy from us? I've had instances where people said, we've got 16 suppliers, we're going to one, or we've got 10 suppliers, we're going to one. We've never bought $1 from you. How is it we could give you the business? I said, you're right. It would sound crazy. And then since I'm not going to get the business, I said, would you mind telling me what's happening? What is it you're looking for? They told me everything in both instances. They were turned into over $1 million sales. I ended up with the business. Now, it's a longer story. Buy my book, you get the whole story. The thing was, though, I let them have the space that they were in. I was detached from outcomes. You'll never effectively gather pain questions. You'll never effectively try to figure out who's a fit and who's not, right? Because not everybody, you're not going to sell everyone. And you won't effectively do it if you're always attached to the outcome. If you've got commission breath. I got to make a sale. 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 People feel that pressure. I've worked with people that could never, ever, ever close anything because they were attached to outcomes. They didn't understand the concept of just going out to help people and relaxing. People didn't feel them. They didn't feel relaxed in their company. I couldn't feel relaxed in their company because there was a lot of pressure around them to make a sale, make a sale, make a sale. You got to give people time to make a sale. You got to give salespeople a couple of years to get established. Don't be bugging them about making a sale. It's a commitment. It's an investment to have a good salesperson. Now, then help manage their behaviors. They should be networking, hanging out where their customers hang out, joining associations that are important to your company, where your target market hangs out, then meeting people. I've joined charities in whatever area I'm in, and I find a cause that really sounds good for the company and get involved in community work. And in all instances, I ended up selling the charities. Because I was on the inside and I would see things, hey, I can save you some money. Let me show you how I can help you. And they did, because I was on the inside. And in all instances, it takes 9 months, a year. It takes some time. You have to have time. When you join an organization, you don't blast out an email to all the members. Hey, I just joined and we can help you. We sell this and we sell that and we sell this. That's stupid energy because it's pushing. It's pushing. I've had people on the boards of different organizations say to me, boy, I've been at meetings where they said, did you get that email from so-and-so who just joined 2 weeks ago? Oh, people's eyebrows raise. But you see, the people sending the email, they're hungry. All they want is get. They don't understand the principle that works in the universe. You get what you give. As long as I keep doing this, I'm going to keep getting the same response. It's cause and effect. You are the cause of your effect. Whatever your results are, you're the one causing it. If you're not closing, you change. When you change, things change. Call me. I can help you. It takes time, though. No, there are no miracles or instant successes. You have to change. That's how it works. When you change, things will change. Okay, so now you have your ideal client because you know who you've helped. You've gone through the company and found out from your marketing department, your top salespeople, the owner. I don't care where you get it. Depends how big the company is. You find out your successes, your boss, and what were the particulars of those successes, and what did the customers say about those successes. Now you have those third-party stories. You also have your ideal, your second ideal, your third ideal, your target markets from those stories. Now you know where you're going to go out and call on people. You call on those places where you have success, where the companies had success. And now you're looking to see what was your ideal fit, because you also find out while you're doing the research, hey, what are companies that are not a fit for us? What are situations that are not a fit for us? What are situations that are too small, too too much service, not profitable, not good for either of us, the customer or us. So you understand where to walk away, because as you're gathering evidence to find out whether they're a fit or not, or helping them figure out the pain about bringing you in as a supplier, right? You're also listening to determine whether they're a fit, because you learn how to detach from outcomes. It doesn't mean you're not an A-type salesperson, you don't have a goal and a lot of energy and calling on people every day. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. What it means is that you have a filter and boundaries, and you understand you're looking for the best of the best. See, that's what you're looking for. And interesting, what you focus on in a universe increases, the law of increase. So you can't see it like gravity, but what you focus on increases. So you, by focusing on identifying the best, the next best, the next best, and the walkaway point, you'll know where to walk away. You have a boundary. Plus, you'll have questions that'll help you figure out whether they're a fit for you or not, and that you help them hear whether they need you or not. It's important they need to hear out of their own lips the words going into here saying, we need these people. And you do that by having questions that help them buy. You're not selling anything anymore. You're helping people buy. And it's a subtle shift, but it makes a huge difference. Huge difference. In 2014, I made a multiple, over $1 million sale, 1.2, 1.3 million. It turned into more. And there were other successes. But during this period of time, that was the major success. And the customer called me to say, Steve, I have something uncomfortable to say. How do I say it? Hit me with it. He said, we want to give the business to your company, but we don't want your salesperson. Okay, what do you want? We want you to handle it. They wanted me to handle it because I made them feel comfortable and walked them through the process. I helped them buy. That's what they needed. They were buying from a major office supply and business-to-business supplier. And this particular supplier, major supplier, had burned bridges by doing a terrible job in the field, right? Delivering on the line, so to speak. Terrible job. And they had only had the business about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And this customer changed all the business. And we started talking to him in August. In the middle of September, we had our first order. October, it was $80,000 or $90,000. And then we knew it was going to be a multiple $1 million account, or over $1 million. And what it is I helped him buy from my client. I helped him buy. That's why I know it works. I've had multiple successes. Small, big, medium, depends on what I'm doing. Okay, so this is important to get. Helping people buy is a subtle shift. And you do that by understanding who you helped. Where are your wins? Where's your walkaway point? What do the customers say? The future, what do your existing customers say about all those wins? What did some of the people who walked away from your company? So find that out from your boss, right? That would make you a different salesperson. Let me talk to the people that didn't buy from us. Wow. Not the people you walked away from, although that might be a list you investigate later because maybe things have changed. I would work on the people that didn't buy because you know they qualified. And you might find a door open. If you called 5 a day, that's 25 a week. That's a lot. 3 a day, 1 a day, that's 5 a week. That's 250 a year. 5 a day would be 25 a week. That's a lot, right? What if you closed 1 a month? That's 12 new customers because you made 5 calls every morning before 9 on a list of people that your company has that didn't work out for whatever reason. You'll get a lesson. You might learn something about other salespeople that they made people feel uncomfortable. That's typically where the sale is lost because the rep is so focused in their head about their goals. I got to make the sale. I got to make the sale. People feel that energy. So You start with the end in mind and you work backwards. Who were your company successes? What were the successes? What are the stories about those successes? Where did you fail? So you understand where you failed. So you have a walk-away point. Because why take another customer where in the past you guys have failed? So some of those places where, besides finding people that said no to the company, you find some of the fails, the customers that left. By the way, you might reinstitute one of those, but better is to get a lesson. Why did it happen? You might get the story from within your company, but I would say, do you mind if I call them? Can we call them together? Let's find out. How are they doing now? What would they say about where they went? What could we do better in the future to avoid such a fail? Now, by understanding all of that, you can gather great information. You can develop what I call pain questions, right? Because you know, you've established your targets from getting all this information about where your wins are, what your sweet spot is, where are you guys really good? And you go after those same kind of customers. Then you talk to customers who said, no, sorry, we went with someone else. Why not, right? Now you're prepared to go to future prospects because future clients, I don't like the word prospects anymore, future clients, because you can weed out very well the ones that won't be a fit. You won't even spend your time with them, right? So what if you didn't spend time with 50% of the people you've spent time with that were going nowhere anyway? Now you have a lot of time to go figure out and find people that will be a fit. So now you develop and understand the third-party stories. So you have in your toolbox third-party stories of your successes. Third-party stories are from the customer. Here's what the customer said. And it's a situation similar to yours. Here's what the customer's situation was. To me, it sounds similar. Yes, it sounds similar, Steve. Okay, would you like to speak to them? Here was the outcome. I can share with you the outcome from my point of view. Maybe you'd like to speak with them directly. So you have third-party stories. And then you have pain questions because you understand how you've helped people. So understanding how you've helped people helps you develop questions that'll get the information to see if they have any of those same symptoms. It's like you're a doctor, right? It's like you're a doctor. Mastering the Complex Sale by Jeffrey Thull is a very good book because he talks about diagnosing and designing. It is a three-step process. The Challenger Sale is another good book by Matthew Dixon, and he's got a co-author, I think Brent Dobson or something like that. I'm sorry, Brent. The Challenger Sale. So you understand as you're asking pain questions when you might want to challenge someone, because a lot of times future prospects, I've been selling for 40 years since I was 4. I found that they had some beliefs, like off the wall, bizarre beliefs. And I knew that it wasn't going to work for them, or at least that was my opinion, because I had third-party stories. John, I want to challenge you right there. I might make you uncomfortable. How do I say something that might make you uncomfortable? They don't give you permission. Usually they'll say, hit me with it. Now you got to know when to use that, and you should have developed a relationship where they feel like you would be a worthy consultant or an advisor. But if you say it way too early, you're going to come off as a cocky know-it-all. So again, you got to understand when to use all these things, right? There's a nuance. You have to understand it. And that's about breathing and being in your body and being aware and not being attached to outcomes. Detach from outcomes. Okay. So now you develop these great questions, you get all the information, and you can determine whether it's a fit or not. And they know too. And how do you close sales like that? Based on what you've heard so far, back and forth, where are we? What's the next step? That's all you have to do. If in your gut you feel like if it sounded to you like you're a fit, why not ask? Because if they say, well, we're almost there. Okay, almost there. What do we need to say to get there? To the next step. You don't say close. To the next step. You can ask. You just you keep taking the temperature. Gee, back and forth. Based on what you've said so far, do you mind if I review it? You go back over it. Well, I've heard this, this, and this. By the way, we hear that a lot. You validate the person, right? A lot of these, in these scenarios, a lot of them have become our customers. Where are you in that? What's the next step in your mind? Okay. I hope I helped. It's been more than 30 minutes. That's my goal. Half hour. Help you master yourself. Close more sales by managing you differently. I don't care what the boss says. Have the boss call me. Stop with the what you closed recently. Stop the pressure. Get out there helping people buy and understand where you've helped where your company has helped your customers. Understand it well. Amazing what you'll discover and amazing how much better you'll do when you're helping people buy. All right, so how do you get in touch with me? 917-805-1088. That's my cell phone. I'll answer it. 917-805-1088. To email me, Steve, at stevelentini.com. That's Steve, S-T-E-V-E, at Steve, L is in Linda, E-N is in Nancy, T is in Tom, I-N-I.com. Steve at stevelentini.com. That's my email. Have a great week. Good selling. See you next week.